Okay, I'm going to try out this here Quixx scratch repair system, which according to all reports and tests is the best one to use, and that's because it does everything right. You sand with a bit of 3000 grit, or 2000 or 3000 grit. It gives you a few strips of that, just 3 or 4, just enough for you to not, wreck your thing. Gives you a couple of these polishing cloths, but I'm going to be using also microfiber cloth to finish it off. I think I might use their cloth for the actual polishing, the initial coat, but I'll use the microfiber for the final, I think. And then it's got 2 pastes. One is the polish, they're calling it, and one is the finish. So the finish is like a fine polish to restore the gloss after you've sort of ruined it by either sanding and or using this polish. Now the point is that this polish here does something special. It's not just an abrasive. I'm not sure if it's either chemically or physically. I have the impression it might just be the way it works physically, but because you're supposed to use a lot of pressure, and it's got granules of a particular size in it, which actually cause the edges of the scratch to deform. The paint and the scratch to deform and fill the scratch. That's the idea. And so I'm going to try it. I've got a few scratches on my tank to fix. I'm going to try it on this little scuff here, on the side panel here, which I might try it up here where there's actually a, I don't know if it can be seen, but it's actually a crack that's reopening from where this was plastic welded here on the back, but through vibration it's just opened again. So it's not technically a scratch, but it might work the same way. Yeah, depending on the results down here, I'll see what happens. I also noted a tiny little scuff there, but it's so tiny, it's more of a ding. Alright, now on this one I will use, actually there's a bit more up there. See, I'm deciding whether or not to use the this stuff here, but I think I'm going to, just because I want to get a feel for it before I approach my tank, because this is the least visible part of the bike down here, whereas the tank is much more visible. So here we go. I'm going to use the I'm going to use a bit of water, and in the instructions it says don't do this for more than 15 seconds. I had a feeling that would happen. As soon as I touch it with this, the scuff would vanish just by itself. Okay. Looks like that one's just going to need a bit of a buff with the polish, and that's all. Probably the same for that. So that's basically already done. There. Reuse that. Wipe it off. Yeah, so now I can see that the gloss finish has got marks on it from the sanding. Okay, so it's no longer shiny, it's quite matte. So that's expected. At least you can see where you've been working. Can't see the actual scuffs in there anymore. Can't feel them either. Of course, now I can see even finer scuffs, just really fine. This is where my trouser legs or something sort of go up and down. Excuse me. So I'm never going to be able to get rid of that, to stop that entirely, but I just want to use this for testing, as I said. Okay, that looks pretty good. The next bit is to use the polish. Yep, number 1. It's got a 1 on it. If you do go online to buy this stuff, make sure you don't get the counterfeit stuff from China, which is around the place. There's a video showing that. In the video that's on YouTube about the counterfeit stuff, it's interesting that the counterfeit is actually of this packet here that I have, this packet, whereas the one that he's showing as the non-counterfeit, he's saying the packet is different, but actually it's just a newer packet. The counterfeit is quite accurately copying this. Sorry, gosh, got a cough today. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is take a bit of the this compound. Now this is the stuff, like as it says on the side here. Remove any water, Apply a small amount of Quixx Repair Tube number 1 to the scratch. Polish the area and the included, polish the area with the included polishing rag for about 2 minutes, applying a lot of pressure, and that seems key. And only 2 minutes. It's short but with a lot of pressure. Do this at a right angle to the scratch until all traces have vanished. The polishing pastes that are part of the repair system work better and more quickly if you apply more pressure during the polishing process. So it's not about time, it's about pressure. Now, as I say, these scratches or scuffs are basically invisible right now, so I'm just going to have to go for it. That's one. Gosh. Oh, it's quite hard. Oh, that is surprisingly hard. It's quite sticky, so I'm giving it a slight oval path here. This is that very light one, which I only just saw for the first time when I held it up. Okay, the whole thing's looking perfect at this point. In fact, I can't see any reason to even keep going on that one. That was a very faint scratch that I just took out, but it was there. That's gone completely. I've only done the first compound. Well, let's do the second spot here. I'll just fold this over so I've actually trimmed this off the cloth so I don't waste the whole cloth on it. I'll just use a little bit. So now I'm going to do the other scuff that was much more obvious, but as I sanded it, it's sort of gone. So I'm using pressure. Whenever you're sanding on an edge, you've got to be careful because you end up putting quite a lot more pressure on the edge itself rather than on the surfaces near it, the flat surfaces. So just try and put the pressure on the flat surfaces, and the edge will just pick it up as you're doing that. Again, that looks absolutely new right there. Gosh, I see no reason to continue with that. Wow. That's only halfway through and it's done. Well, with that in mind, let me what will I do? Let me just check the instructions here. Now polish the area with Quixx Finish number 2 and the second enclosed rag for about 2 minutes, applying a lot of pressure. Use circular motions until the area has a glossy appearance. Well, it wants me to use that rag again. So I'll just cut another piece just to and keep them separate. So I may or may not reuse this piece for other little bits around the bike. And I'll keep this bit here for the final polish, which is finish number 2. Yeah. Ugh. I recommend squeezing it into a garbage bag first. Ugh. It's a bit rude looking. I'm pretty sure this is meant to be a paste, not a liquid. It's probably been sitting in the box for so long, it's coming out as a liquid, which I think is just separated. Of course, being in this tube, it's not easy to mix it. So I've squirted a bit out. I'm going to take the air out of the tube, like that. See how it's very liquid? I'm going to close the tube while I'm still holding it, right? And now I'm going to give it a squish to mix it all up. Yeah. Should sort that out. I don't know, I can't tell if the it's a little bit thicker. Yeah, no, it is separated. If you can get a fresh batch of this, I think that would be recommended, advisable. I bought it online and you can really tell. So in any case, this just works like a polish, obviously. It's quite nice. Same thing, just on the edges, concentrate on the flat sides, not on the apex of the curved corners and edges, because those inevitably get the most rubbing anyhow. Just taking this polish over here where there were some sort of visible scuffs in the finish, well, almost invisible, but I just saw them. So this is basically, if you bought a standalone, you know, a single bottle or single solution anti-scratch or scratch remover, I think there's one from McGuire's and some of those other ones you see in the shops, this is what they are. They're just this part, just a polish. This system here that Quixx are telling you to do, which is combining a bit of sanding for deeper scratches. So you're just trying to take off the clear coat and not mess up the paint coat underneath, and then deform the edges of the scratch. I mean, and then polish the end. I mean, it's actually it is a perfect system. That's as good as you can get without refinishing the part. Where are my rags? Okay, so I'm getting a fresh one of these. Just bought a whole bag of these things, these microfiber cloths, because I use them all the time and I like to use fresh ones. So I just bought a bulk bag of them, 40 of them or something, like $1 each. And that's just... So what I'm interested in seeing here is, of course, the finish. A, that the scratch is gone, but B, that the polish is as good as the surrounding paint, which is of course waxed, so this can still accept a wax. So I don't think that this thing here is also a wax. Yes, the information on the side, it stresses that you should not sand for long, only 15 seconds, you know, just you're not meant to remove a lot of the surface. And then also that the pressure is important. The pressure during both polishing, especially that first one, is key to it working. Well, there we go. I've just done the that minor scuff. Well, 2 scuffs, and that is absolutely flawless. Pretty good. When I do the tank, I might do a video then as well, so look for another video adjacent to this one, maybe, on if I post this on YouTube, because I'll see how those scuffs and scratches go. They're bigger and deeper than these ones are. Excellent. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.